Yesterday, a former Steeler got to showcase his skills on Thursday Night Football with another team. And I'm not going to front, I was surprised with what I saw. And of course, we're only a couple days away from game day, so we got to do our Steelers vs. Ratbirds preview. All that and more, Big Deke News. Yes, the former Steeler I was referring to was quarterback Josh Dobbs, drafted by the team in 2017, and then in 2019 got traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars for a fifth-round pick. Eventually found his way back to the Steelers in 2020, stayed there for 2021 as well. 2022 was a little bit of a rocky road for Dobbs as he signed with Cleveland as Brissett's backup, and then when Watson came back, he got waived, picked up by the Detroit Lions for their practice squad, and then just 9 days ago was signed by the Tennessee Titans, and with Tannehill being hurt and Malik Willis playing terrible, Dobbs was named the Titans' Week 17 starter, and the Titans just so happened to play last night on Thursday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. And I will say, I was impressed. Now, I didn't expect much because, frankly, I didn't think Dobbs was that good because he couldn't beat out Mason in preseason, and then when he did get some regular season action way back when, it was a disaster. But I guess players can grow and develop, right? It's just that we didn't really have a good gauge on how much Dobbs developed here in Pittsburgh because we had the GOAT in front of him.
Until tonight, did you ever feel like you had a chance to show what you can do in this league and still getting the start?
No, I didn't. Honestly, I didn't. Just given my circumstances and the lack of opportunity I've had, it's definitely been tough because especially when you pour everything into it and you don't get the opportunity is always tough.
Final stat line for Dobbs on yesterday's game: 20 completions on 39 attempts, 232 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 12 yards on the ground on 3 attempts with 1 fumble. If I had to give him a grade, I would go with B-. If I'm feeling really generous, maybe up to a B given the circumstances. You got to think, Titans just picked him up last week. This is his first career NFL start against a really good Cowboys defense. Titans don't have Derrick Henry in the backfield. And Dobbs made some really nice passes out there down the field that were dropped by the Titans receivers, like hit them right in the hand. So Dobbs' stats could have even been better, and maybe the Titans could have sustained some more drives if those things didn't occur. The knocks on him were the interception and the fumble. I can't really find any good excuses for him there because they just weren't good. The fumble, he just should have held on to the ball better, and the interception was thrown right to the Cowboys' defensive back. But overall, he made some really solid passes throughout the night. Ones where I sat back, and again, I was surprised. I'm thinking, oh shit, Dobbs is doing this. But yeah, I was just impressed with how he played. He looked poised out there. The moment wasn't too big for him. And I think if you're the Titans, this is the best your offense has looked in the last couple weeks. So you got to be rolling with Dobbs over Malik Willis for your Week 18 game against the Jaguars, which will be for the division, which will be for a playoff berth. So I'm assuming they're going to have Dobbs start. I really am. So if Dobbs does win that game, hey, and that would be his third start, he could be in the playoffs. All right, enough talking about other teams because we are here for the team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They go up against the Baltimore Ravens this weekend on Sunday Night Football and are trying to keep their playoff hopes alive with a win. And you know what? Speaking of Dobbs, sorry, I got to do it. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what needs to happen in this upcoming matchup. First key, the Ravens are good at running the ball. My suggestion is we just focus on that, make Tyler Huntley try to beat us because their passing game is really limited. The receivers are washed up, and it's not a task that's too tall for the Steelers as they just held the NFL's leading rusher to 2.9 yards per carry last week. So why can't we do something like that again against an offense with lesser talent? And I don't want to hear the excuses about the Ravens offense being unique because of the RPOs, this and that. We just faced off against them a couple weeks ago. We know what to expect. We got to get the job done. And then secondly, we talked about the Ravens running game. On defense, they are good at stopping the run. So it could be tough sledding for Najee and Jalen Warren this week, but I still want to get them the ball because I do think we got to maintain a balance on offense. I just don't know how pretty it's going to be. Now that leaves it up to Pickett and the Steelers' passing game to step up. Receivers like Deontay Johnson and George Pickens, which I think should happen. We saw Pickett clutch up last week with the game-winning drive. And then in terms of Deontay and Pickens, we saw them cook Marlon Humphrey, the Ravens' top cornerback, in the first matchup. And there are some reports that Marcus Peters might be out for this one too. So that's only going to help the Steelers' passing game. And just the fact that we all know the Ravens' defense is always going to be solid year in and year out. But in this particular year, their secondary is their biggest weakness. They're 24th in pass yards given up across the league. So I really think it's just going to come down to this. Move the ball up and down the field. Don't be afraid of this Ravens secondary. Take shots, take chances when needed. But also be careful with the ball. Realize that points are important in this type of rivalry matchup, because that wasn't necessarily the mentality going back to that first one with the 3 interceptions. But Pickett's been taking care of the ball. Only 1 interception in his last 5 or 6 games. So, yeah, I don't see how that's going to be a problem. And my final score prediction for this one, I got Steelers 24, Ravens 17. My reasoning is conditions are going to be way better than what we were dealing with on Christmas Eve. It's going to be like, in the 50s or 60s? I think the offense is going to be able to move the ball even better. We get at least 24 points. And then the 17 for the Ravens, that actually might be a little generous. I think I'm just giving some benefit of the doubt to the matchup that Steelers-Ravens. It always comes down to some type of one-score game. But I just think they're going to be too limited, and I think our defense was embarrassed with how things played out, that we are going to really focus on stopping this run, and I don't think Tyler Huntley and the Ravens receiving corps is going to be able to beat us. My bold take is that we hold the Ravens rushing attack to under 100 yards. I don't know if it's even been done this season or not. I just feel like we're going to have that type of mentality. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Bold predictions. What do you think is going to happen in this Steelers-Ravens Sunday Night Football matchup? But also, what's your take? What's your grade on Josh Dobbs' performance yesterday on Thursday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys? But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this edition of Big Deke News. Enjoy your weekend. Also, enjoy your New Year's. I don't know if this is going to be the last Big Deke News episode of 2022. But if it is, it was a good year. Stay chilling. Peace.